Premier League, the richest and most ambitious league on the planet, has long been the stage for some of football's biggest transfer sagas. But even in a league accustomed to blockbuster deals, the name Florian Wirtz has turned heads across the world. At £126 million, the German wonderkid has become the most expensive signing in Premier League history, surpassing a host of household names. Wirtz's arrival at Liverpool isn't just a major statement of intent, it marks a strategic turning point for the Reds in the post-Jurgen Klopp era. But before we dive into the story of Wirtz, let's rewind. Here's a look at the top 10 most expensive signings in Premier League history, where each name tells a different story of sky-high expectations, brutal disappointments, or unshakable resolve in the face of pressure. We begin with one of the most hotly debated transfers in English football history, a centre-back who once held the world record fee for his position and who, over time, came to symbolize Manchester United's turbulent years. In 2019, United made Harry Maguire the most expensive defender in the world, towering, dominant in the air, and fresh off a standout World Cup 2018 campaign. Maguire was meant to be the answer to United's defensive frailties, but things didn't go as planned. In a team lacking direction and leadership, Maguire quickly became the scapegoat for collective failure. While he's had his moments, especially in cup competitions and with the England national team, he never reached the commanding presence expected of an £80 million captain. From a centre-back under scrutiny to one who embodies modern defending, we move to a name that represents Pep Guardiola's vision of football's future. To Pep, a defender must be more than just a destroyer. He must think and play like a deep-lying playmaker. And Josko Gvardiol ticks all the boxes: composed, athletic, technically gifted, and tactically mature beyond his years. That's why City didn't hesitate to break the Premier League record for a defender, shelling out £86 million for the Croatian prodigy. Still only 21, Gvardiol has settled into life at the Etihad with poise. He may not be a highlight reel player, but he's laying the foundation for City's long-term defensive dominance, and that, in Pep's eyes, is priceless. While Gvardiol is proving his worth step by step, on the red side of Manchester, another big-money signing continues to divide opinions. Antony, one of the most controversial signings of recent seasons. A former favorite of Erik ten Hag at Ajax, he was brought in to inject flair, speed, and unpredictability down United's right wing. At times, the Brazilian winger delivered spectacular moments, curling left-footed strikes, eye-catching tricks, flashes of creativity. But inconsistency, overcomplicated decision-making, and lack of end product have plagued his time at Old Trafford. The £87 million price tag has only magnified the scrutiny. In 2.5 seasons, Antony scored just 12 goals and provided 5 assists across 96 appearances. He struggled to cement a place in United's starting 11, which led to a 6-month loan move to Real Betis in January 2025. In Spain, he found some form, 9 goals and 5 assists in all competitions. But it wasn't enough to convince new manager Ruben Amorim of his role in United's future. Now, with Ten Hag newly appointed at Bayer Leverkusen, rumors of a reunion are growing. And so the debate lingers. Is Antony an untapped talent, or simply a product of the transfer market's inflation? If Antony's story is one of unfulfilled promise, Paul Pogba's is the ultimate example of talent clashing with environment. No player better represents the gulf between expectation and delivery than Pogba. Having left United quietly as a teenager, he exploded onto the world stage at Juventus, becoming one of the finest midfielders of his generation. That brilliance prompted United to bring him back in 2016 for a then world record £89 million fee. But the second chapter at Old Trafford never lived up to the fairy tale. Pogba's genius was often undermined by inconsistency, tactical indiscipline, and a series of injuries. Off-field drama and fractured relationships with managers only added to the chaos. By 2022, Pogba left the club quietly, just as he had a decade before, leaving behind more questions than memories, and a transfer that promised so much yet delivered so little. In the summer of 2021, Chelsea made a bold statement, spending nearly £100 million to bring back Romelu Lukaku, a striker they once let go. After tearing it up in Serie A, Lukaku returned to Stamford Bridge, hailed as the final piece in Chelsea's attacking puzzle. But the dream quickly unraveled. The Belgian forward lost form, and things hit rock bottom after a bombshell interview where he criticized manager Thomas Tuchel. Trust was broken, relationships fractured, and the club had little choice but to send him out on loan. A classic case of a record signing turning into a textbook failure. That same summer saw another milestone, the first English player ever to command a £100 million fee. Jack Grealish arrived at Manchester City as the crown jewel of Aston Villa, a flair player meant to become a symbol of City's possession-dominant era. After a shaky first season adapting to Pep Guardiola's demanding system, Grealish came alive in 2022-23, playing a key role in City's historic treble. But in the 2 seasons that followed, his form nosedived, raising real questions about his long-term future. Can he rediscover the form that made him England's first 100 million man? Unlike many big-money moves, Declan Rice hit the ground running. From the moment he stepped onto the pitch for Arsenal, he brought steel, energy, and elite ball-winning ability to the midfield. As Arsenal's most expensive signing ever, Rice has more than justified the fee. He's been instrumental in their title challenge and has become an irreplaceable presence under Mikel Arteta. Not just a signing, a statement of serious intent. From relative unknown in Europe to World Cup winner in the space of a year, Enzo Fernandez epitomized Chelsea's new era strategy under Todd Boehly. Scout talent and pay big. Nearly £107 million was a jaw-dropping sum, but Enzo's tactical intelligence and midfield vision made him a long-term bet. While Chelsea's chaos didn't allow him to shine immediately, he remains central to the club's rebuild. Only time will reveal whether this was a gamble that pays off. Chelsea weren't done yet. In 2023, they smashed their own record again to land Moises Caicedo, a versatile, dynamic defensive midfielder from Brighton, in a deal that shocked the footballing world. Strong, mobile, and tactically sharp, Caicedo embodies the modern number 6. After beating Liverpool to his signature, Chelsea shelled out £115 million. A slow start, compounded by injuries, had fans questioning the deal. But once he settled, Caicedo began to look like the missing piece in Chelsea's youthful engine room, a high-risk move that's slowly proving its worth. And now we arrive at the deal that changed everything. Florian Wirtz, Germany's golden boy, became the most expensive signing in Premier League history when he joined Liverpool for a staggering £126 million, €150 million. Only Neymar and Mbappe have ever cost more. Wirtz was the heartbeat of Leverkusen's revolutionary Die Work Self 2.0, a generation that broke Bundesliga tradition and rewrote the rulebook. With the vision of a classic number 10 and the mobility of a modern inverted winger, Wirtz arrives at Anfield as the crown jewel of Arne Slot's rebuild, a tactical centerpiece for Liverpool's new era. More than just a blockbuster transfer, Wirtz is a statement. Liverpool aren't just aiming to compete again, they're reaching for control of the future. Each signing in this list is more than just a jaw-dropping number. It's a tale of dreams, pressure, success, or regret. Some rose to the occasion, others faded under the spotlight. Some transfers reflected brilliant planning, others served as painful lessons in misjudgment. And now all eyes turn to Florian Wirtz. Will he follow in the footsteps of Pogba or Grealish, or will he carve out a legacy of his own and become the next Premier League legend?